All right. Hey, this is Richard back at you. We got Joshua's 2008 GMC in the house. This is one he got off eBay. The converter's not at eBay. The converter's a Circle D. We've heard really good things about these guys, so we have nothing to say there. Hub looks really nice still, like that. But this is where we're at with this tranny. This thing, when he put it in, it never worked. The original tranny we have out here in a crate that we're going to also tear down, but we wanted to tear this with this one down and just see what it is made of, because he said it's physically never worked since he put it in the truck. Now you can tell here they did a lot of marking on it, checking, stuff like that. They do have checkpoints. They check probably the thread holes and stuff like that. You can see all the pink markings, all these checklists they go through and stuff like that. They did really good there. But he said the tranny physically never worked. So I don't know what that means. But we know the other tranny, the whole back of the case is destroyed and stuff like that. So let's get this thing apart. Now you got to remember, guys, when you buy something off eBay, you better be prepared to get what you buy off eBay, because you just never know nowadays, guys. And to buy a computer-controlled tranny off eBay, come on. We do have a nice new bushing here. Looks really nice. Doesn't even look like it's ever been used. Got a little bit of darkness here floating around in there. We got this adapter here is what seals the yoke. There's a seal in here. Keeps fluid from getting inside the yoke and leaking out the vent on the back of the yoke. This is your speedometer reluctor wheel here. Now we have our overdrive and our intermediate servo here for second and overdrive. We'll look and see if they did anything here special. Looks nice and clean, just a stock servo. I believe this truck's beefed up, got cam and stuff like that done to it too, so this wouldn't be what I'd be putting back in this truck. We're going to be Corvette servo and all that type of stuff. So we have our lockup O-ring here. And I'm mainly looking for anything that hasn't been replaced, stuff like that. See what type of quality work was done. Got our bell housing. Got a seal retainer on there. Looks really good. I always glue them on because they'll just pop off like that. Kind of really doesn't hold a seal very good. You can just kind of pull it off with your hand. But if you glue them on with yellow glue, it works really good. They won't come off. Trish, you can get a little closer if you want. I won't squirt you, I promise. Now here's our pan. I mean, it don't look dirty or anything like that. Got our cooler line clip in the pan. Probably fell through the dipstick hole when Trent took it off.
Oh, okay.
So, pan gasket was put on right. We have a deep filter. Not plugged up or anything. Turn this more where we can kind of face it towards you. Now this is the later version. It's got the input speed sensor. You can see the sensor wire connector here. And you got your 3-2 downshift solenoid. You got your PWM solenoid here. And we do have, it is a late model. It's got the late model pressure control solenoid. And we have our pillow switch, shift solenoids. I like to feel these and just see if the O-rings, if these really wobble around real easy, the O-ring wasn't replaced, but these are nice and tight. They look like new solenoids too, so. I did drop a bolt down in here for the lockup solenoid. Basically, we're looking for torn rings on the pillow switches or anything like that. I mean, this feels really good. Looks new. Never seen this. Is a little weird bracket here. I guess that's to keep the connector in from being able to be pushed down. Is what it looks like. You can see how it holds the connector in right here. Kind of a little piece there. Get the valve body out of the way a little bit. Maybe you can see it better. Now we'll get over and look at our PWM stuff here. Yeah, there wasn't anything done here. That's just a stock valving. Physically, nothing done there. So we'll definitely take care of that. That should have been done right off the bat. So, see if our accumulator has been replaced. There you go, got a nice billet piston for your forward accumulator. So far everything's looking pretty good. I would have blocked the lockup valve, especially with a stall converter. You would definitely want to do that. But so far that's all I see. Get our check bolts here. They did have one in the trough. That's the most critical one. If you leave this one out here, you'll go into reverse and forward at the same time. So you can leave every one of these out but that one, if you wanted to. Not recommended, but if you did do that, that's the most critical one there. You can see here the I mean, there's no modifications done to the plate that I can see on hole sizes or anything like that. It's just a stock plate. That's what happens when you get builders that just know how to build stock. They can't make something better. I can't think of anything that leaves our shop stock.
Not anymore.
We don't know what that word is. Now, just like this accumulator here, guys, for your intermediate second gear, that's probably factory. There'll be a little flat spring on the bottom down there, not a second spring. Now we'll update the piston to a long shank. I haven't got them. I got them over there in boxes. To a long shank style piston, and then we'll stack this up with different springs and stuff to get this piston flat here. Don't ever put it back like this. That's a no-no. Same way here, we do have a round hole, square hole. They did good there. They got the valve body gasket on the right side. Let me check this one here. We got a round hole, square hole here. We do have a case gasket here, so they did good there. No modification to the 3/4 accumulator, which you already know what we're going to be doing there. We're going to block this all off. We don't beat a hole in a check ball in the hole in the case. We don't ever do that. We just block it. That way we don't ruin the case. No fluid in the connector. Anytime you have fluid in that connector, replace it. Now this does look like a brand new wiring harness. Doesn't look bad there. It gets a little dirty sometimes. The squeegee has been the world. That has worked really good. Get your parking linkage off. Now there will be one check ball right here. You can see it there. You can leave that out if you want to, or you can put it back in. Once we block the accumulator, it doesn't matter. You see they marked all their pump bolts. Now you notice they did the same thing I always do. They sealed their bolt here with extra silicone to make sure it don't leak. Even though you change the O-ring, you always want to double seal it, and they did a good job there. But we still ain't seen any problems why this thing don't work, so hopefully we can run across something pretty quick. No seals torn there. Looks like we got a new rear stator bushing, new front stator bushing. We got the filter here. You leave that filter out, guys, it drops the pressure in the pump, so you don't want to ever do that. And you know, for this not to work right, you know, it could be that maybe it just wasn't shift kitted enough and it just don't hold the power that they make. You know, I really don't know. Pump looks really nice. It looks like it probably has some type of boost valve in it. Plug out of the way. You can tell here, kind of the way the shininess looks, you can tell that's an aftermarket boost valve. Let's see whose is in there. sprayed me in the face. Come on, these are my old ones. There we go. You can see they got a Teflon seal around here. Still a pretty small boost valve. It's not the best one. We're definitely going to go with a lot bigger one for sure. So, got an aftermarket valve here. But could have been a kit, something like that. But we're going to change that up for sure, get rid of that. I don't know how many miles it's got on it. You can definitely see the wear on the pump rotor here. It could be spaced in a little bit more too. You can see here, you could go on easy 1/8 of an inch, a little deeper in there. A lot of wear. I don't know how many miles on this thing, but almost makes you wonder if that wasn't put in there to start with, but hard to say. Pump bushing still looks brand new. Now we'll go with a different style. We'll go with a coated one too, but ours is, this thing is really slippery when it gets oil on it. You can kind of see. You can see this pump slide in here. It's just wore plumb out. The coating is plumb gone on it all the way around. You can see here where it's starting to get hot spots. See that? Yep. Single spring. Look at your pin here for any wear. Get your spring. Your slide and O-ring. I mean, this looks brand new too. I mean, you tell how nice and shiny it looks, but boy, it wore quick, didn't it? For that's there's actually a seal. It's right here, and then this sits in here like that. Oh. And you put it in there. It seals it. It seals it from side to side. Okay. So I've probably never showed that in my videos. And like I said, this one here, it has a hard ring instead of a soft ring. This is what we call a soft seal. This is what we call a hard one. They actually eliminated the groove in the pump body for the soft one to go in. And I don't know why they did that, because this really always worked really well. But they might have had a reason for it. I don't know. We have our band anchor. I like to get that out, and that way you can just pull it out just like that. Makes it real simple. Right. That's in here just like that. Then you have your servo that comes in on the side, like that. Now, our band's already soaking, but you can see the difference in the two. Same material, but 10 times bigger, not 10, but a good percentage bigger. Brush washer looks good, bushing looks good. Clutches look good. I don't know if this is some type of performance input drum or why it's got that funny color to it. Now it does have the counter for the input speed sensor on it. This sensor right here, it comes through this hole right here, lines up with this right here, and that's what it's counting. So The seals don't look tore, they look good. You always want to get this little bearing out of here and check that. If it's got any type of wear, you'll have a wind in park and neutral, so you want to look for that. Well, here we go with some lack of experience. You know, everybody thinks that you can leave them load springs out, but that's a no-no, guys. Well, heck, they were in there. They just wore out. I didn't think they were in there. They just put them back in there. Yeah, some of them are just pumped down to nothing. So they weren't even working. Cause they stick out about that far. You know, good new ones. These are just wore plumb out. They weren't even working. That's why the top plate was loose, you know, rattling, because that'll stabilize that. I don't even know what this top hat is. This top hat don't even look like the right top hat. That's not. So I don't know what they're doing here neither. You know, this top hat should be flat all the way across here. That way this load spring can touch it. Well, once they took that off there, it makes the load spring not even less tall. So that's not even the right top hat. Right bottom hat, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s. 6 clutches in your 3/4, but you know what it ain't gonna do with that. Ain't gonna work very good. I mean, people just amaze me. I mean, the guy bought him a performance transmission, and there ain't nothing performance about this at all. You know? Like I say, you buy them off eBay, guys, you get what you pay for. You know, the steels look new. Everything. You know, some of this stuff looks really nice. I can say that. It's not performance grade, but it's not old stuff that's junk. Hub looks good. Look at that. Looks really nice. Look here for any wear, chatter marks. Scotch-Brite that up. Looks really good. I mean, it does look like a new Spragg assembly. It's not a dual cage, what we'll put in there, but you can see ours. Ours has a dual cage. It just keeps it more centered and everything. A lot better Spragg assembly. Look at this race here for any wear. Looks really good here. Back sides of both your sides of your sun gear. Looks good. Those bushings don't look replaced. But so far every bushing looks replaced but those there. So that's a plus. I've seen lots of worse. Shine in here, Teresa. You see that snap ring right there.
You want me to hold the flashlight?
I get it. Get your hands dirty or splash you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, it ain't gonna come still. Come on. Yeah. Try to hold it for a second. That pair don't work, grab another one, maybe they'll work. Come on. What's that planet? Something.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, I can't get by. There we go. Man. Some of them are just terrible. Yeah, I thought maybe it was wore out through here and it's getting behind that snap ring or something, but it looks okay. Got a roller bearing there, roller bearing here. Actually, that's where the problem is. That don't fit. It's not the right bearing for that. Actually, I just put on my bearings over here. Something right here. Here it is. See, because this has got a ledge right. That ain't hitting either. Where's it at? I just put a bunch of those bearings up. Let me see it over here. See if it's this bearing. What do we got going on here? Yeah, I don't know what they got going on here, but I ain't grabbing the right bearing. I'm pretty sure I was grabbing the right bearing. Let me see another planet over here. If I had one. Actually, you can see how this bearing has a lip on it right here. Normally the bearing will center here, not so much in here. But this lip will hold the bearing up off this land right here if you have the wrong bearing in there, and they have the wrong bearing in here. So I'm going to have to find it. So we'll go to something else real quick, but that's going to be something I have to deal with. Now they did put a wide bushing in here in the sun gear. The factory bushing's a little narrow thing about that one, narrow. So sun gears had a lot of wear on this side, a lot of hard push, prints in there, whatever you want to call that word. But really, it's got a new shell. Looks like a hardened shell. I say some of this stuff can look new until you get it cleaned up, and then it's wore out. Grab our anti-clunk spring. Go over here and look at our planet. Looks pretty good. A little bit better. Same way the ring gear. Well, you know, guys, it seems like everything I do is a basket case. I have to try to find the problems. Like I said, he said this one never worked, so I'm going to have to go back through, air check everything when I put it all back together. Actually put a lot of performance stuff in this thing to make it a lot stronger for this truck, so he's going to be racing and stuff like that. So if you want anything, give us a holler. Don't forget to subscribe. Teresa, thank you again for recording. Definitely. Y'all stay tuned. Have a lot more show to come. Y'all have a great day.